Hey, it's Gina Schreck doing a kind of an impromptu Facebook Live. And I say impromptu because I know I typically try to do these. I was doing them on Tuesdays. I can't find a day that I can be consistent because there's always something that comes up. I've had client meetings all week, and so we are coming to you live today, and we're talking about something that was an idea that was spawned in my head after reading a great blog post by Mark Schaefer. And he talked about old school marketing and how it's really an excuse people use for not advancing their skills and for sitting back and not making things happen. And I'll tell you, I talk to so many people every day that say they want to get their business, they want to market their business, they want to launch their business, they want to do this, they want to do that, but they're still dragging their feet when it comes to really using the new tools of the day to market their business. And it just kind of really hit me when I read Mark's blog post, because I always say the thing that drives me nuts is when people say I'm too old to do this, and that's one of my pet peeves. Being over 50, I hate when I hear people say I'm too old to do that, because there's no such thing as too old. I have a 92-year-old aunt who's on Facebook every day. I have my mom who's on, sorry mom if you're watching this, I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying age is no excuse for people not to be embracing technology. Now, I'm not talking about how to be on Facebook to chit chat with your family and friends. I'm talking about how to strategically use these tools to market your business. And when we start talking about strategy, which we did in last week's Facebook Live, there's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of tools you have to learn. Learning how to make landing pages, learning how to do Facebook ads, or paying someone to do that for you. But there's a lot involved. Now, you can look at that and say, I'm just too old to learn all these new things, and that's baloney. There's just no excuse. And for you to say that, it truly is an excuse for you not wanting to put in the time and the effort. And I think what makes me crazy is when I hear people say, I would do anything to have my business be successful. Then do anything to make your business successful. Don't just say wishing and hoping. I think there was a song. See, that's how old I am. Although I didn't grow up with a song, but I remember when I was just a lass hearing a song, wishing and hoping. Somebody tell me who sang that. I don't know why, I'm just thinking like Dusty Springfield or someone like that. But you can't just wish and hope that your business will do well. You have to put in the effort and the work. And this old school is another term, kind of like saying I'm too old to do that. People say, oh, I'm very old school marketing. What does that mean? And I have some people that I chat with on a regular basis in Facebook who say, oh, all this social media stuff is it's not real. You don't make real relationships or real customers. And again, excuse, excuse, excuse. We are in a new digital landscape. And I use the analogy that, gosh, we've been using for 10 years. The digital immigrants, those of us who are over the age of 35, we are immigrants into this new digital landscape. Those of you who are under the age of 35, you are a digital native. You grew up with this technology. It doesn't mean you love it. I know a lot of people in their 30s and 20s who hate all of this, and you start seeing the pendulum swing back, and my 20-year-old, 21-year-old, and 27-year-old daughters, they like paper journals and paper calendars, and it makes me crazy because I see that as so old school. But when I'm talking about digital natives, I'm talking about you're in an age where you were born with all of this around you. You understand what social media is. You've never known life outside of digital technology and digital phones and DVRs and everything else that we live with. Those of us over the age of 35, which is most of us in this group that we tend to that I tend to engage with here, we are over the age of 35, which means we are an immigrant to this new digital land. Now, here's what I want you to hear. You can't stand at the border kicking and screaming because your business is failing, because the land where you came from is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So for you out there who are saying, I do old school marketing, that old schoolhouse has burned down. That old schoolhouse doesn't have any students. The teacher has retired. You're now in the new school. You either have to put yourself in the new school or you will be out of business. So I know that sounds so harsh, but I just feel like we need to be shaken for people who are still saying, I do things old school, or I don't need all this new technology. The key is your consumer has changed. People in their 50s, yes, people in their 50s are digitally savvy. Most of us have decided to immigrate into this land and embrace the new world and learn the language of this new land. We've learned to use the tools, and you either need to come along with us, and it's not easy, and it's not just overnight, but just put yourself in that new school where you continue to learn and grow. And that means you have to commit to learning something new. You have to learn, you have to commit to maybe next month, maybe the month of July, you take on one of those big tasks like, I'm going to learn Facebook advertising, or I'm going to learn how to create a landing page. Gina's always talking about lead magnets. We need lead magnets, and you still are dragging your feet and haven't created them. If that's you, maybe July is the month you say, I'm going to learn how to use lead pages or how to create a landing page using another tool, and I'm going to make that happen. Those are the type of commitments you have to make if you're in the new school. And if you're still in the old school, ring the school bell and unpack your little lunch, because you're going to be there for a long time. Hopefully you brought some snacks. So that is my rant for today. Had to come on and say hey. And for those of you, I'd love to hear your opinions on this. Are you willing to go into the new school? What are you willing to learn in July? Let's put ourselves in school. Let's school each other, and let's cheer each other on as we make this journey in this new land. And let's do this together. It's, we don't have to go it alone. So the good news is there's lots of translators. There's lots of people here to guide you. So hopefully we can do that together. Connect with me on any social media account. I'm at Gina Schreck anywhere you want to be. Or you can connect with our business at Social Connects anywhere you are and anywhere you look. We've got our business account. And if you still have not joined DIY Social, it is a group here on Facebook where we share tips and tools, where we answer your questions, your marketing questions, and I'll pop in little videos as people ask me questions. I just jump on and create a video for that. Today I created 3 videos using ScreenFlow. So easy, a fun tool that I just learned probably in the last few months to answer your questions. So throw out your questions. I'd love to hear them. And until next time, keep being social and keep learning.